Welcome to Towle Talks. Today we control the animator with our scripts. Today we are on the last step or last phase of our animation tutorials. And that's actually controlling the animator with our scripts. It's very short, it's fairly easy, so without any further ado, let's begin. For the third video, we've left off setting up our animator. Remember, right, we have this set up, and we needed to make a controller. So, I've made a script, and notice I'm under Hero, I made another folder for script, again, organization, and we're going to open this up with Visual Studio. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to look for a public animator and give it a variable. I call it my anime. And we're going to search for it just like we did with the rigid body. Again, I could drag and drop the animator onto this variable, but this is simple enough. Animator this dot get component animator equals, and this whole thing equals my variable, my anime. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to set that dir variable to specify which variable we want to, or which animation we want to run. So a very simplistic way of doing this is have input.getAxis raw. Again, we're getting our input horizontal. If it's less than 0, we want to go left. Else if it's greater than 0, we want to go right. Else if it's vertical and it's less than 0, we want to go down. Else if it's vertical and greater than 0, we want to go up. This does put more precedence to the horizontal input than the vertical. So there's other ways to do this. You could actually find the total vector of the input, and whichever direction was the strongest, that's how you could set it to be that way, or you could have a convention like this. In this situation, the horizontal overpowers the vertical. It's up to you. So this is a little bit naive, but it'll get the point done. So once I have this condition, if the horizontal is less than 0, I want to go left. We're going to take the animator variable and what we can do is we can set the different parameters. So my anime dot, I can set integer, I can set boolean, set bool, I can set float. There's one more I can set, but I forgot what it was. But there's a couple different, I can set all the different parameter variables I've created for the animator. And then, so the parameters is the parameter variable I want to change, in this case dir, and the value I want to change it to, in this case 2. Where did I get these numbers? Well, let's go back to, or this variable, let's go back to our animator, and we added it as a parameter here, and we said a convention, 0 would be right, 1 would be up, 2 would be left, and 3 would be down. And by default, the hero is facing down, so that we set it initially to dir to 3. So going back up here, so if I want to go left, I set dir to 2. If it's greater than 0, I set it dir to 0, because I want to go right. If vertical is less than 0, I want to go down, so I set the dir to 3. If vertical is greater than 0, I want to go up, so I set dir to 1. Again, kind of a naive control scheme, but it works for one button at a time. So I'll save this. I'll actually go to my scene and select my hero, and I've added my hero script. Again, I don't have to populate this value because the code is going to do it for me. So now if I run it, let's see, if I hit right, I turn right. I hit left, I turn left, and here you see that they are separate animations. I have GH if it's facing right, and a little gem if he's facing left. This is an old sprite I used for an intro to gaming class. It's called Gem Hunters. That's what the GH stands for. If I go up, you can see the back of the helmet. If I go down, you'll see the character facing you. Again, the animation is not a lot to look at, but the animation is working correctly. So for example, if I'm going left, if I click on the animator, you can see the state changing. If I go back to game and click right, look at the animator, you can see the state changing. If I go back to game and hit up, you can see the state changing. And finally, if I go down, you'll see the state changing on hero down. So you'll see that the animation itself is working, albeit not very pretty. So this is an example of how to create animators, how to create your character controllers to interact with the animators, and how to specify which animation you want to use. I believe you could use the same mechanism for 3D animation if memory serves. However, these are going to be, creating these are going to be a little more complex, and these animations are going to be based on your 3D mesh. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting and learned something. If you have, please like and subscribe. This has been Towle Talks. Until next time, cheers.